Welcome to Positive Mind Dynamics. Are you ready to take the conscious next step to a better life? Positive motivation and inspiration find hope and success in life by being inspired and motivated and mindfully driven. Don't give up. Keep trying. You will succeed in life. Keep trying. Let me tell you a story of a young girl who had a hard childhood. Everybody has a hard time throughout their lives at some point. This child had to work to make money for the family, put her career on hold for a while. She looked after her siblings after her parents died. Her career took off, but she had setbacks along the way. But her philosophy was, just keep going. Don't give up. She was born Eileen Regina Edwards in Windsor, Ontario, on August 28, 1965, to Sharon and Clarence Edwards. She had two sisters, Jill and Carrie Ann. Her parents divorced when she was 2, so her mother moved to Timmins with the girls and her sisters. Her mother remarried and had a baby boy, Mark, with her new husband, Jerry. The new stepdad adopted her and her sisters legally. They changed their surname. When her half-brother Mark was a toddler, Jerry, her dad, and Sharon, her mom, adopted Jerry's baby nephew, Daryl, when his mother died. Her new stepdad treated her and her sisters like they were her own flesh and blood. The family acted as a true family, never using the words step. They were a family in the true sense of the word. She had a difficult childhood. Her parents earned very little money. Food was often scarce in their household. The young girl did not tell about her situation to school authorities. She feared they might break up the family. Her mother and stepfather's marriage was stormy at times. From a young age, she witnessed violence between them. Her mother also struggled with bouts of depression. In mid-1979, while Jerry the dad was at work, the young girl insisted her mother take them away and look for help. The mom drove the rest of the family 420 miles south to a Toronto homeless shelter for financial and food assistance. 2 years later, Sharon the mother returned to Jerry with the children in 1981. That was when the girl was about 16 years old. The young girl had to help the family to get money for food from a very, very young age. She started singing at bars at the tender age of 8 to try and help pay for the family's bills and money for food. She often earned $20 between midnight and 1 a.m. performing for remaining customers after the bar had finished serving alcohol. Although she expressed a dislike for singing in those bars, she believes that this was her own kind of performing arts school on the road. She has said of the ordeal, "My deepest passion was music, and it helped. There were moments when I thought, I hate this. I hated going into bars and being with drunks. But I loved the music, and so I survived. In the early 1980s, this young teenager spent some time working with her father's reforestation business in northern Ontario, which employed some 75 Ojibwe and Cree workers. Although the work was demanding and the pay low, the young girl said, "I loved the feeling of being stranded. I'm not afraid of being in my own environment, being physical, working hard. I was very strong. I walked miles and miles every day and carried heavy loads of trees. You can't shampoo, use soap or deodorant or makeup, nothing with any scent. You have to bathe and rinse your clothes in the lake. It was a very rugged existence, but I was very creative, and I would sit alone in the forest with my dog and a guitar and would just write songs." She wrote her first songs at the age of 10, "Is Love a Rose?" and "Just Like the Storybooks," which were rhyming fairy tales. She states that the art of creating, of actually writing songs, was very different from performing them and became progressively important. At the age of 13, the young girl was invited to perform on the CBC's Tommy Hunter show while attending Timmins High and Vocational School. She was also the singer for a local band called Long Shot, which covered top 40 music. The teenager graduated from Timmins High in June 1983, eager to expand her musical horizons. After the band Long Shot's demise, the young girl was approached by a cover band led by Diane Chase called Flirt. She toured all over Ontario with them. She also took singing lessons from a Toronto-based coach, Ian Garrett, often cleaning his house as payment for these lessons. In the autumn of 1984, Twain's talents were noticed by a Toronto DJ who wrote about her in a country music news article. "Eileen possesses a powerful voice with an impressive range. She has the necessary drive, ambition, and positive attitude to achieve her goals." The DJ later took the girl to Nashville to record some demos. She found it particularly difficult to finance these demos. Later, a regional country singer noticed the girl's talents. The singer later said, "She sang a few songs that she had written, and I thought to myself, this kid is like 19 years old. Where does she get this? This is from a person who's lived 60 years. The country singer took her under her wing. She also recorded demo songs with Cyril Rawson, but those efforts were unsuccessful, partly due to the young girl's wish to become a rock singer, not a country artist. In the fall of 1986, she continued to express her desire to be a pop or rock singer rather than a country singer, which led to her falling out with a country singer for 2 years. Her first break finally came on February 8, 1987, when Belle, a conductor, staged a fundraiser. At this point, she was 22 years old. in Toronto, where she performed with Broadway star and guitarist and the Toronto Symphony Orchestra. Her performance received little acclaim, but it convinced Bell, the conductor, who hated pop music, that the aspiring singer should stay well away from it and concentrate on country music. On November 1st, 1987, the young girl's mother and stepfather died in a car accident. The aspiring singer moved back to Timmins and put her career on hold to take care of her younger siblings and took them all to Huntsville, Ontario, where she supported them by earning money performing at a nearby resort. Several years later, when the aspiring singer's siblings moved out on their own, she assembled another demo tape of her songs, and her Huntsville manager set up a showcase for her to present her material to record executives. She caught the attention of a few labels, including Mercury Nashville Records, who signed her within a few months. During this time, the young singer Eileen Regina changed her name to Shania, which was said to be an Ojibwe word which means on my way. She had taken on her stepfather's name, Twain, when they were adopted. When questioned as to why she chose not to publicly acknowledge Edwards as her father for years, Twain stated, "My father, Jerry, went out of his way to raise 3 daughters that weren't even his. For me to acknowledge another man as my father, a man who was never there for me as a father, who wasn't the one who struggled every day to put food on our table, would have hurt him terribly. We were a family. Stepfather, stepbrothers, we never used that vocabulary in our home. To have referred to him as my stepfather would have been the worst slap across the face to him." Shania's first debut album didn't succeed as well as she'd hoped. When rock producer Robert John Mutt Lange heard Twain's original songs and singing from her debut album, he offered to produce and write songs with her. After many telephone conversations, they met at Nashville's Fanfare in June 1983. Twain and Lange became very close. Within just weeks of meeting, it culminated in their wedding on December 28, 1993. Lange and Twain either wrote or co-wrote the songs that would form her second studio album, The Woman in Me. The Woman in Me was released on February 7, 1995. As of 2007, the album had sold more than 12 million copies. She had a son with Lange, Asia. In late 2006, Twain and Anne Murray recorded a duet version of Murray's hit You Needed Me for her 2007 album Anne Murray Duets, Friends and Legends. This was Twain's final recording with husband Lange as producer. Things weren't all smooth sailing for Twain. On May 15, 2008, it was announced that Twain and Lange were separating, after Lange allegedly had an affair with Twain's best friend, Marie Anne Theobald. Their divorce was finalized on June 9, 2010. Twain rose to fame with her second studio album, The Woman in Me, which brought her widespread success. It sold 20 million copies worldwide, making way for widely successful singles such as Any Man of Mine, and earned her a Grammy Award. In 1997, Twain released her follow-up, third studio album, Come On Over. It established her as a successful crossover singer. It became the best-selling studio album of all time by a female act in any genre, and the best-selling country album, selling nearly 40 million copies worldwide. Come On Over produced 12 singles, including You're Still the One, From This Moment On, and Man, I Feel Like a Woman, and earned Twain 4 Grammy Awards. The hard work that Twain had put in early in her life led to her success. But things were not always rosy for Shania Twain. She had health problems that made her career slow down. In 2004, Twain had to take a break in her career, revealing years later that the diagnosis with Lyme disease and dysphonia led to a severely weakened singing voice. In 2011, she chronicled her vocal rehabilitation on the OWN miniseries, Why Not with Shania Twain, released her first single in 6 years, Today's Your Day, and published an autobiography, From This Moment On. Shania Twain was in Norfolk, Virginia in 2003 when she was bitten by a tiny tick that caused a big problem, dysphonia. Dysphonia is a kind of vocal cord muscle paralysis and is a rare complication from Lyme disease. She had to work very hard to get her voice back. Shania reported to Extra, I had to have an operation that was very intense, and it's an open throat operation, very different from a vocal cord operation. And I had to have 2 of them. So that was really, really, really tough. And I survived that, meaning emotionally I survived. And I'm just ready to keep going. When you're a singer and it's your voice, it is just a terrible, terrible feeling, she added. It was a great, great loss, so I had to come to terms with losing the voice that I had and rediscovering my new one. It's been a long, a really rewarding journey. Shania Twain's vocal cords are not completely out of the woods. She said that she is working on other non-surgical ways to teach her voice to sound like hers again. What I've learned in the interim through therapy is how to manipulate my voice to get it to do what I want it to do, or at least close enough that I don't want to give up. So you just gotta be willing and give in to the change, she said. And you have to accept that you don't always have to be the same. And that's what I have to do. And I'm embracing that. Twain released her first studio album in 15 years in 2017 now, and embarked on the Shania Now Tour in 2018. In June 2019, Twain announced her second Las Vegas residency, Let's Go, which opened on December 6, 2019, and is set to run for 2 years. She has sold over 100 million records, making her the best-selling female artist in country music history and among the best-selling music artists of all time. What a wonderful, inspirational and motivational story of somebody who had a very hard childhood and had health setbacks during her life. Nothing is smooth sailing. You just have to keep going. Focus on your dreams and your goals. Keep going. Don't give up.